Emerging technologies that will shape our future. We live in an era of rapid growth. Technology has been advancing at an unprecedented rate, and new pieces of tech are popping up left and right. Of course, not everything sticks. Plenty of projects fail. But in the grand scheme of things, even failures contribute to bringing the future closer, if at least by adding their idea to the pile for other more capable minds to run with. Over the last year, we've seen our tech trend in specific directions, which gives us a good estimate of where we're headed. Now, Techtastic has rounded up a list of the technologies, innovations, and trends that will play an important role in shaping our future. Ready to get a glance? Stick around and find out. Smack that like button, subscribe, and stay in the loop by hitting that notification bell. Number 1. The Metaverse, or VR. Okay, let's start by addressing the elephant in the room, the buzzword that seems to be on every tech guy's lips, or one of them anyway. It's the metaverse, of course. For those not in the know, the metaverse is basically a virtual world created through a combination of several different technologies, the most discussed being VR and AR, which stand for virtual and augmented reality respectively, coming together to form what is dubbed an extended reality. This extended reality is envisioned as a second world of sorts with its own economy and lifestyle. Of course, it doesn't exist yet, but with all the funding being poured into it, I wouldn't count on it being too long before it becomes a thing. It's a pretty exciting concept, though maybe a little too new still, but anyway, moving on. Number 2. Quantum computing. People have been talking about it for a while now, but quantum computing is starting to become a very big thing. By operating under quantum mechanics instead of regular binary, quantum computers can process data far faster than anything else out there. Additionally, a great many industries stand to benefit from applying the principles of quantum mechanics. Again, it's not there yet, and certainly not within reach of the average consumer, but that's why it's an emerging technology. Give it a few more years and then we can see how much of an impact it's made. Number 3. Generative AI. Artificial intelligence is getting smarter by the day. While they're not nearly smart enough yet to plan a robot uprising, they are more than capable of producing their own works of art. Sort of, anyway. By analyzing programs and undergoing self-learning, AI can create variations of the original piece that seem almost indistinguishable from human creations. That's cool enough, as is, but this can be also applied to other fields such as healthcare and research to massively change the game. Definitely something to watch out for. Number 4. Hyper-automation. In this video, there'll be plenty of mentions of AI, which goes to show how much impact artificial intelligence will have in the future. Hyper-automation is, simply put, the process of finding, studying, and automating everything that can feasibly be automated. By doing so, efficiently going up by a lot. It might not sound like anything exciting, but is paving the way for the future just as much as anything else on this list. Hopefully, sticking machines with desk work doesn't upset them too much. Number 5. Module. Module is a program that aims to reduce workplace injuries and ensure people are wearing proper protective gear. With the help of RFID technology and a wearable device with motion, location, and environmental sensors, Module attempts to warn workers when they're doing something potentially dangerous, such as overextending their body or bending it too much. It collects the data it acquires and uses it to formulate reports and identify at-risk workers. As a testament to the efficacy of Module in preventing workplace injuries, companies that tested the product for a year found that it reduced accidents by almost half. This is groundbreaking news and represents a great leap in workplace safety. Number 6. Mantis Robotic Arm. For the most part, robots in factories are kept away from humans because the risk of malfunction or simple accidents. This isn't always the most productive system. Fortunately, Mantis Robots is in the process of developing a solution. By using sensors, its robot arm can detect when a human approaches and slows down its activities, improving workplace safety. If this can be implemented, ownership costs can be lowered and factory efficiency can be increased a fair bit. Amazon seems to think this too, as they've given investment towards it. That should count for something, at least. Number 7. Brain-controlled robots. Yes, you heard that right. In the near future, you might be able to control a robot with your brain. Researchers at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology Lausanne, or EPFL for short, have been able to come up with a way to let the tetraplegic people, meaning both their upper and lower body is paralyzed, interact with their surroundings. In a test involving a robot arm and a machine learning program, the arm would attempt simple tasks such as moving and maneuvering around obstacles. The program's algorithm would then receive feedback from the brain of a person wearing an EEG cap like the one on screen. That is, to learn what would be considered the correct action in the given circumstance. Over time, the machine can then adapt and carry out the motions with increasing fluidity. Obviously, this is another piece of tech that's still in its very early stages, but the potential it provides for giving those that otherwise could barely do anything a chance to interact like they never could is simply too great. Number 8. Self-fertilizing crops. According to the World Economic Forum and Scientific American magazine, self-fertilizing crops are one of the most significant emerging technologies in the world. You see, fertilizer is responsible for about 2% of global carbon dioxide emissions, with about 110 million tons of nitrogen being converted to ammonia for plants in an incredibly energy-intensive process. However, legumes such as soy have a way of acquiring ammonia on their own by interacting with bacteria in the soil. Scientists are looking into finding a way to get other plants to do the same. If this endeavor proves successful, then we could potentially reduce our greenhouse gases problem by a significant amount. 2% may not sound like much, but trust me, it adds up. Number 9. Coradia Island. Little by little, we're starting to clean up our act. Our vehicles still cause a lot of pollution, but we're starting to change that. We even have a green train now. The Coradia Island is the world's first hydrogen-powered train. Because it's fueled by hydrogen fuel cells, it has no harmful emissions, the only exhaust it releases being steam and water. It also produces almost no noise. It doesn't compromise on performance either, able to operate on non-electric lines. If more of this technology can be accessed and developed, then that's a big step in the right direction as far as reducing our carbon footprint. Number 10. 3D printing. 3D printers have been around for a while now, but they still have a ton of potential that could make them even more useful. For example, a large enough 3D printer could use building materials to print a house on the spot, which isn't too complicated and can be used as a low-cost building method. Despite the convenience, logistics remain a problem, however. Developing areas are what need this technology the most, but those areas lack the infrastructure to support the transportation of materials. However, an Italian company by the name of WASP, which specializes in industrial 3D printers, has come up with a solution that involves using local materials to print instead of having to bring them in. Houses aren't the only things that can be 3D printed now, though. Bones can be too. The company Ossiform, which specializes in medical 3D printing, has introduced a method of creating 3D printed replacement bones for patients using tricalcium phosphate, which possesses qualities very similar to bone. Because it's so similar, the body can turn them into vascularized bone, allowing full function of the replacement part. 3D printing has a lot of potential, and it'll be very interesting to see what else comes of it. Number 11. 5G. 5G networks are already starting to go up, even now. It's clear as day that 5G is going to be incredibly useful going forward, presenting a massive increase in speed over 4G and reducing congestion of signals. Not just that, 5G is also expected to make services such as augmented reality more useful and accessible, as well as allow cloud-based gaming like that offered by Google Stadia to become actually viable. 5G will be everywhere very soon. The high-speed network is expected to cover 40% of the world by 2024. If you need speed, then look to 5G. Number 12. Blockchain and cryptocurrency. Of course, we had to mention this too. A blockchain is essentially data that can only be added to, not subtracted from, or modified. This is meant to provide a great deal of security and reliability, which is a good thing. despite whatever associations it may have. Not only that, but blockchains also don't require a third party in transactions, as they are consensus-driven and so cannot have their content seized by another entity. Because of this level of security, many industries are starting to utilize blockchains. Cryptocurrency is also gaining popularity and has for some time. As digital currency on a blockchain, it's meant to be very secure and reliable. In fact, the country of El Salvador has begun to accept Bitcoin, which is the original cryptocurrency, as legal tender. Banks all around the world have also been thinking about implementing their own versions of cryptocurrency. However, due to concerns of potential fraud, some countries such as China, Qatar, and Egypt have banned cryptocurrency. The systems required to mine or produce new cryptocurrency are also damaging to the environment. However, it is also believed that if properly regulated, cryptocurrency could be used as legal tender in more places in the future. Whatever your opinion may be though, it's undeniable that blockchain and cryptocurrency are going to be very significant in the years to come. As you can see, our picks for this video trend towards certain fields, with focus on robotics and AI especially. What do you think of this list? Leave your thoughts down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. That's all for now. Have a tech-tastic day.